I want to take you back in time with me. Come with me back in time. We're going to go back to my living room several years ago. I was sitting in the living room of my home, beautiful dream home. Talk about dreams, as we've been talking about dreams this weekend. My dream home nestled in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains. Deer, bear, bobcats, everything out our backyard. Great play spaces for my 4 kids. And I was sitting there doing something I'd done many, many times during my life. I was unpacking a box to repack another box because I was a military spouse. And I packed and I repacked and I packed and I repacked. And if you've ever moved a lot, you might have a little experience with that last box that never quite gets all the way unpacked. And so there I was, unpacking this box. It was a little different this time because every other time I'd gone through this box, the box of the curtains I bought 3 houses ago that were too expensive to get rid of but never fit again. And at the very bottom, those little tiny handprints when my 6'2" kids were about here, I just couldn't get rid of them. So there I am unpacking it, but every other time I'd gone through that box, I just repacked it and put everything back in. It had many, many stickers from many, many moves on it. And I took it with me from house to house. But this time was different. It was kind of sad, a little bittersweet because I was getting rid of all of those memories. I was going through this box because I was moving from my dream home of my marriage to my newly single home. I was going through a really difficult divorce, although if you've been divorced, you might know there's not much anything else other than difficult. And this was one of those. So as I unpacked, I threw the curtains away. I put the little handprints in boxes for my kids to take off to their own homes. And all of a sudden, at the very, very bottom of that box, I saw another box and I pulled it out. And I was immediately transported back 25 years earlier to my bridal shower because this was a bridal shower gift. Now, I don't know how they do bridal showers anymore, but back in my day, we all sat in a circle and everybody looked at the gifts and we oohed and awed and went on about our gifts. And it was just a fun thing. And at this bridal shower, my sister, my very older, wiser sister, she'd been married for 4 years, she was 23. I was 19, and she knew everything there was to be about getting married. In addition to that, I think she kind of like secretly designed Pinterest because her stuff was all Pinteresty. So this box was the most beautifully wrapped of all of them. And it came from my big sister. I grew up in a really large family, so she was 4 years older than me, and she kind of raised me. So I knew whatever this was, it was going to be the best, most fun gift ever. And so I started to unwrap it. And I carefully unwrapped it. Now, all the other gifts I ripped open because that's my personality style. But this one, I carefully unwrapped it. I carefully untied the bow. I actually kind of left it taped to the box because it was so pretty. And I started to take things out of this box. And the first thing I took out was a little bottle of oil. And that made sense to me. I was a little disappointed because it wasn't too much fun. And I set it aside. My father was a cabinet maker, so it was a big issue in our home. Every Saturday, we oiled the wood in the house to keep it nourished. So she was giving me some family tradition. The next little gift I pulled out was a little feather duster. And okay, I need to learn how to keep house. I wasn't a great housekeeper, so this was a housekeeping gift. I was a little disappointed, but okay. I understood it was for my good. Then I pulled out a little bottle of powder. That was confusing, honestly, because I didn't know what to do with this powder. And then I remembered, oh yes, Amelia Bedelia. Our family had a joke. I was Amelia Bedelia. I could cook like crazy, but clean was not my strength. So I really realized I was getting a housekeeping gift. So I continued to unpack oils, powders, feather dusters, all sorts of things. And I couldn't figure out what they were for. And as I sat there surrounded by my sister on one side, my mom on the other side, and the very religious women from my upbringing, there started to be kind of like this tittering and giggling as I put up little bottles of oil and feather dusters. And I was embarrassed because I didn't know how to keep house. But as I kept going down to this box, I saw a little book at the bottom. And I knew if I could just get to that book, I could figure out this housekeeping gift. I could pack it away and be done with this embarrassment. And so when I pulled out that book, remember I was 19, I pulled out this book, and there were 2 people on the cover, kind of like this, and they were naked. And it said Kama Sutra 101. And oh my gosh, I wanted to die of embarrassment. Housekeeping was bad enough, but sex, seriously? So I quickly packed up the box, tied it up, wrapped it up, put it away, and moved it from house to house to house for 25 years. Now, I don't really think, as I pulled that box out, that it would have saved my marriage. I really don't. But what I looked at as I thought at that box, I thought that's like the gift of our personality style. We are given a gift at birth. We are wired a certain way to behave. That's our behavioral styles. And it is a gift. It's a gift that is given to us from the universe, from the Creator. And how we behave matches up to the gift that we've received. So although I threw that gift away, as I looked at that gift, I thought, that's my personality style. And that's where we're going to go today, is talking about the gift of your personality style. Because we're all gifted in a personality style.